myself grow older and older, slowly, uh, and then quickly. It is not. It is not a good sight, Joy. It is disturbing. This disturbing sight. They say that black don't crack, but that's bullshit. I've been sitting here watching myself crack. Uh, are you on liberal time?
I don't know. I'm on Eastern Standard Time. Does that count as liberal time?
That's that sounds like liberal time. That's New York, right?
Indeed, yeah.
Uh-huh.
What time zone are you on?
I'm on Trump time all the time, Joey. This is welcome to TNA. You know this one?
That I do. That I do. It's good to finally be here.
Yeah, TNA is the Trump News Association, subsidiary of Let's Get Serious. Uh-huh. Are you serious, Joey?
I try to be. Yeah, I think that when discussing these issues, it's important to take them, with a certain level of seriousness. So, what are your thoughts, and what is the current buzz within the Trump time zone about the election? Do you think that Trump is going to manage to get it overturned?
Joey, what election? There was no
the presidential election that just took place.
There was no election. It was a farce. Believe me, in my country, I have seen all types of corruption. This was worse. Here you have a man who has worked hard his whole life, and has built up his business and kept the country together. And this is how you treat him.
Yeah, after oh yeah, totally. I mean, he was quite a successful man after he inherited $30 million small loan from his father.
That is all fake news. That is all. I was there in the 80s when he was coming around. He even lost all of his money and got it back. He's a smart man. He's a smart man. But the hatred coming from new liberals is putrid. Is sick. It's sickening. What is going on with your hair, Joey?
I just haven't gotten a haircut in a while, and just hopped out of the shower. So I'm kind of a mess, as we as we liberals are. Just a bunch of dirty hippies, right?
If I would take that and I would make money off of that. Rock and roll, right? You know this one?
Yeah, I know rock and I love rock and roll. I happen to play drums myself.
Yeah, drums. I was gonna say you could be Ringo.
Totally.
You could be
Ringo. I like that.
Gringo Star. You be Gringo
totally.
Star. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. We just passed the anniversary of John Lennon's death, and there was this interview a few years ago with this guy who was John Lennon's driver, and he mentioned that towards the end of his life, John Lennon had supported Margaret Thatcher, and he was becoming a conservative. I mean, it's possible that if John Lennon were alive today, he would be supporting Trump. I mean, maybe that's why they killed him.
Oh yes, that is a good one, Joey. I was going to say, thank God that maybe he was going the wrong way, and God did not want him on this earth. But it makes more sense that he was going the right way, and then someone took him.
Indeed, yes, he recognized the errors.
I thought he was going as a liberal with the woman that he was with, the Yoko the Yoko Ono. Yeah, I thought he was a liberal. I
He
thought
was
they
for
were.
a long time, but I think, I mean, I don't know, maybe, maybe he just got tired of paying such high taxes. He got tired of,
Uh-huh.
living in Britain when it was a socialist
He got
country. And I'm sure,
he
I'm
put
sure,
childish things away. He
yeah,
got tired of being stupid.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's that's all.
I'm sure some people in your political camp, esteemed thinkers like Jordan Peterson would have something to say about the effect that feminism had on him, or that Yoko had. Maybe he just couldn't stand it anymore.
And he did the Get Out movie.
I
That
think
one,
so. Yeah.
Jordan Jordan Peterson, Get Out. That was a good one. That was a good
I
movie.
haven't seen that. I haven't seen that one yet. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I've been meaning to. Maybe I'll look to see if it's on streaming tonight.
Yeah, it's a good movie. You know, um, people are doing well for themselves, but they have subscribed to some liberal tendencies, and then they start letting in some of the riffraff into the neighborhoods, and it all goes to shit. So it's uh, a kind of a movie that warns you against being too open to some of the riffraff. You know,
Yeah.
it's a
And
good it's a good
I
one.
guess it goes to show also how liberals are the true racists, just like they have been since the Civil War.
Oh yes, oh yes. Hmm. Yep, Democrats, Yankees. Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah, because wanting universal health care is just exactly the same thing as slavery.
Oh my God, this is horrible. Uh,
So horrible.
you wait, you wait in line, and you never get your health care. You die in line. Why are you waiting when you have money and you can go see a doctor?
Exactly, because there's just doctors on every corner, and that if all you need to do
Hmm.
is cough up a few $1,000s, I mean, it's amazing that
Oh no, that one is fake news. It's not. It's not that much. It's fake news.
yeah. Yeah, I've heard. I'm sure it is. I mean, I've heard people talk about how Trump Trump was secretly trying to get everyone Trump Care, which was his new private app, and it would be just as good as Trump vodka and Trump steaks. But
Mm,
the deep state blocked it.
that is messed up. Uh, he's a good man. He's a good man, but he will become more powerful now that he has left the deep state, and he will go underground, and he will build his army, and they will do many good things.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I heard recently that Elon Musk was planning to build a space colony on Mars. Maybe Trump is working on something like that himself, and he's going to open a Trump casino on the moon or something.
Oh, that is a good that's a good idea. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he can have his army just stationed on the moon, and build up a Death Star to come back and take revenge.
You liberals can keep the Earth. We can go to Mars. That's okay. You can
I mean, I
keep the
guess that
old.
makes sense,
Yeah, you keep
right?
the
I mean,
old.
I guess that would almost be more honest in a way if instead of saying climate change is just a liberal hoax, just acknowledge it, but say you're okay with it. You want us liberals to just be left behind while the planet is destroyed, so you can have your Starship Troopers colony on the moon and on Mars.
It's the Bible says you know the evil ones will be left behind, and the righteous will go up to Mars. So that's how it goes.
Really? Which book of the Bible? I mean, I did not have much formal religious education, so I'm curious, which book of the Bible was that in?
Revelations.
That's interesting. I will have to check that out.
It's good. It's in there.
Cool.
It's in there. So what else? What else is going on in that liberal mind of yours?
Well, I mean, right now I'm just a lot of us liberals, and I wouldn't even consider myself, a liberal. I mean, I know you think liberals and socialists are the same, but I'm further left, and a lot of us are, quite disappointed with some of Biden's choices ourselves, like the fact that he nominated Neera Tanden, who a lot of Bernie people are not too pleased about. So, I'm thinking that hopefully we could, find some common ground, because I mean, just like.
So why did you not vote for Trump then, if you are so dissatisfied?
Because I still think that he was worse. I don't like. I mean, his environmental policies were disastrous. I think his immigration policies were inhumane. I mean, I take it from your accent that you're an immigrant, right? So what do you think about his immigration policy, as the way he treated refugees?
I had to come and fill out my paperwork and do my studies and put my nose to the ground and do everything above board. So I don't understand when these criminals try to come into the country without paperwork and due diligence. It is not fair to the rest of us. It makes us look bad.
No, I can certainly see how.
Oh, sorry, you are being sent. You are being censored by. You're being censored by advertisers. I cannot hear you. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what is happening. Sorry, it says my internet connection is unstable.
It appears that my mic has been cut.
Oh, okay, we are back. I live in a liberal neighborhood, so sometimes things do not work so well. I think they are moving towards socialism.
Yeah, because the private sector always handles things better, right? And we should have Trump broadband.
Yes. Oh, that is a great idea. I can't wait until 2024 when everything is normal again. Once Trump has won his second term.
Do you think though? Do you think though that he's going to serve his second term from Earth, or just stay on the moon? Because I mean, you could argue that if us liberals have so well made elections made the elections illegitimate, and we're going to steal it anyway, wouldn't it be better for Trump to just declare himself like God Emperor of the moon, and you can start a right wing, that right wing colony on Mars on the moon and Mars we talked about?
He can build it from there for the next 4 years, and then in the meantime, in 2024, he can come back and he can win and rule with all the knowledge he has gained from Mars and the different planets.
Yeah, that should be that should be interesting to see. I mean, yeah, maybe he'll maybe he'll dynamite the moon then and create and just use it as a new source of energy once he's done amassing his army.
We cannot understand his infinite wisdom so well We have to wait and see. He is so wise and so smart. We have to wait and see. We do not know. I do not suppose to know how he does things. We have to wait.
Indeed. What so this TTV, is this a new alternative for your particular sort of conservative to Fox News?
What, Trump television, TTV?
Yeah.
TTV is a new one. It is Trump coming into his own and realizing after 4 years of fighting with a horrible system to come up with his own and to provide his own news network.
That makes sense. I mean, Fox News, they were the first ones to have called the elections for Biden, so you must not have been too happy about that, right?
There was something wrong with them from the beginning of the Trump presidency. They were not being fair to him. They were siding with, the fake news.
Well, that's good now. I mean, given that most conservatives who used to watch Fox News love Trump so much, I mean, he received over 90% of the conservative vote. I guess they're not going to have much of an audience anymore.
That is good. That is a good point. Maybe during commercials, people will change back to Fox News.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, that's all they'll be good for. So, yay, we found another point of agreement.
Mm-hmm. See, we're not so different.
Indeed. Not so different, you and I.
Not so different. As long as we keep the minimum wage to a minimum, we can all get along and do well. Why do people flipping burgers need to make
increasing the minimum wage? I saw that even some conservative states passed a minimum wage increase.
That's a bad idea. Do you want your son or daughter aspiring to flip burgers for the rest of their lives?
I mean, I want them to do whatever makes them happy, and obviously that might not be the most fulfilling job. So, but if they are doing it, I would want them to get a decent wage, and I think that if we want to give people the opportunity to choose what they want to do in life, why not make college free?
And who's going to pay for the teachers and the administrators?
Well, a lot of colleges have far too many administrators to begin with, and on top of that, I mean, the government could just pay it. I mean, we pay taxes. I know you're probably not too happy about paying taxes, but at the very least, we could get something decent for it, and just having the rich who make far more than you or I and far more than they'll ever need, just having them pay a little bit more, we could easily have decently funded colleges and schools and give everyone a decent opportunity so that they're able to actually have more choices in life than just the possibility of working at a deli or at a store or something.
Well, isn't that what philanthropy is for? To let people make their own choice as to what they want to give to.
I mean, I guess that's one way of looking at it, yeah.
I built myself up to success by working hard and getting away from those low-paying jobs as soon as I got out of college. That's what we have to encourage people to do. All the so-called millennials and and Zoom and all these young people are not working hard enough. We have to make people smarter.
I'm interested, just to change the subject for a minute, because you mentioned when you got out of college. I'm interested if, you could maybe say a little bit about your background and like how you came to hold the political views that you hold, because that's always interesting to me. Like how did you become a conservative? When were you in college?
I was in college in the 60s. No, the 50s. And I pulled myself
Oh, you
up.
look pretty good for your age.
Thank you. I pulled myself up by the bootstraps. And the older I got, the smarter I got. And I realized if I was going to keep all of my money, I had to be conservative and could not be too liberal with it. The older and smarter you get, the more conservative you become.
That is a theory that I have heard some expound upon. I think what kind of business ventures have you been in?
Some import, export, things like that. Some venture capitalism, some playing with Wall Street, some numbers and some economic ventures and things like that.
What you must have enjoyed all the financial deregulation that was pushed through in the 90s, right? That must have just allowed you to go nuts on Wall Street.
Oh yeah, Clinton was my guy. I liked him. He was a good Democrat. I definitely made lots of money with him.
Okay,
He was the last good Democrat.
There you go. There's one thing you'll acknowledge, which I wish more conservatives would be honest about, that Clinton was basically a conservative and he pushed a lot of that stuff through.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that he was a conservative. He tried to, make healthcare more accessible, but it didn't go through. It was not realistic, but he was smart. He was smart when it came to the money and the hustle and everything.
Yeah.
He was my guy.
So what else is going on in your world then? Like what are some issues of the day that you've been thinking about?
What is going on? They I think the president will be able to pardon himself from all this witch hunt the liberals are trying to do, and pardon his family, and God bless them. Um, and all the feminazis and all of these what do they call those group? The BLM and the groups against the Antifa and all of that.
Antifa, right? There you go.
Yeah, all of those groups will be shut down. People are too smart for these things anyway. So they will either be pushed out to the margins, or some of their leaders are already in jail. So that's good.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that I think that the next few years definitely are going to be interesting, because Like, yeah, we've never seen an instance in which a president has pardoned themselves before. I don't know if there's any precedent for that. But then again, Trump has kind of just invented the rules as he's gone along. I mean, I know that's what a lot of people like you who are his supporters like about him.
Yeah, he is the president. Uh-huh. Isn't that what a president is supposed to do? Is have presidents? He's
Yeah, I
making
mean, yeah, I guess that's a good way of putting it. I mean, yeah,
making his own.
precedent makes sense. The president's precedents, and you could just invent them out of thin air if he wanted to. I do
He's a
think it's
good inventor.
interesting, though, that that conservatives, in a sense, historically, have been about preserving institutions, preserving traditions. I think what's so interesting about Trump is that he's kind of broken from that mold, and instead is in a weird way, in his own way, is kind of I mean, I almost couldn't put an ideological label on him, but he's definitely broken from what a conservative traditionally would mean, because he has violated so many norms, and he's not even gonna go to his successor's inauguration. I think that there's an interesting, I mean, obviously, as someone like you, who, you seem to be very much a strong free market capitalist kind of conservative. I guess you're a fan of creative destruction of old industry. He's kind of applying creative destruction to the American system itself.
The system has gotten too big. So he is determined to help bring it back down to size. That is all he is doing. It's gotten much too big.
Too big to fail, as they say.
Yeah, and there's no such thing as too big to fail. Eventually, it can fail if, he does not get it under control. Too much government spending and getting inside of people's lives, telling them how much taxes to spend on this and that, and taking the police away, and trying to make schools equal and all of that. It is just not possible. You have to study and you have to apply yourself.
Well, aren't you mentioned the police? Isn't and you mentioned government getting in people's lives? I mean, aren't the police an example of an institution that gets into people's lives? I mean, in a sense, these
what are you going to do? You're going to let the criminals run around uninhibited, unchecked? I mean, you need someone like that to make sure that people are safe at the end of the day. That's all. Make sure people are safe.
I mean, you need to make sure people are safe, but a lot of activists are just asking for accountability. They're asking for these institutions to not abuse their power so much, and for bad police officers that kill people to just be let off in check. I mean, that those seem like perfectly reasonable demands to me.
Well, it is easy to stand here and criticize, but have you ever had a gun in your face?
Have I ever? I was once held at gunpoint. Yeah.
And what did you? How did you get out of that situation?
I was mugged. I gave up my wallet, and I just walked on home. It sucked. It was traumatizing. But I don't think that the existence of that excuses gives police an excuse to just shoot people just because they feel slightly anxious at a traffic stop, or just vaguely feel threatened.
But imagine you don't know what he has inside of his car. what he could be reaching for. He has the advantage. He's inside. He knows what he has. He has the element of surprise. You are in a situation where you come across these criminals every day, putting yourself in harm's way. If you shoot a couple people a year by accident, but how many people did you not shoot? Like 362 days a year, you did not shoot anybody. And then 3 days out of the year, you had a bad day. But you have still saved so many more lives. Uh-huh.
Well, maybe that makes sense in conservative, thinking, but that to me reminds me of some parody I saw years ago. I don't know if it was about Trump or should face the consequences for. I mean, that's a strange argument that I don't think would hold up in any court.
But do you think that out of the people shot that they did not, make some kind of motion or not comply with the officer to make him nervous to, shoot him?
I mean, I don't know the specifics of what happened in every circumstance, but I do think.
You see?
And I guess that right there is just going to be clipped and posted tomorrow. Lib gets owned by the police, and I'm sure on policing, I'm sure it's going to get like 100,000 hits.
We can only hope for such a good turnout for the show. But thank you for your blessing and for your good intentions for how our show turns out.
Thank you for having me.
No doubt.
You gonna go to a word from your sponsor?
Yeah. A word from our sponsors. When it's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you gonna call? Call the cops. Do not defund the police.